Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
جمال الوجود بذكر الإله وتصفو الحياة بنور هداه. جمال الوجود بذكر الإله وتصفو الحياة بنور هداه. وتطلب نفس له طاعة
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Joshua Buzzell and I'm a student at McMaster University doing my undergrad in Peace Studies and Religion Studies. I grew up in the countryside of Hamilton in a little area called Mount Hope with my mom and my grandfather. Although my upbringing wasn't particularly religious, I had a little bit of experience with Christianity, especially living in the area that I grew up in. I am now, alhamdulillah, a Muslim attending a Quran journey, which has just started this year in January with Sheikh Hussam. It's been a large part of my learning and my development as a Muslim and coming closer to the Quranic message through the classes. I am a participant at the Barakah Box Food Bank with the Muslim Association of Hamilton, which is one of Hamilton's large mosques, and also involved in youth programs, personal development training, and taking part in spreading the clear Quran and its message to both the Muslim and the non-Muslim community of Hamilton. My journey began ever since I was actually a small boy, growing up in the countryside of Hamilton in Mount Hope, when even from a young age I actually became acquainted with a Muslim family living on my street one day when I decided to go with my grandfather when he went on his delivery to give out eggs. So he has chickens, and I never used to really engage with him too much on that side of things, but one day we went to one of the neighbors' houses, and when they opened the door I saw this family that was like really strange and really different to me, and so I was at first kind of nervous, kind of shy. I was probably only about 6 or 7 years old, maybe 5 years old. And they asked me, how about you bring your boy another day and we'll let them play with our kids. So that's kind of how I had my first experience meeting a Muslim family and starting to have some Muslim friends. However, it took many years actually for me to really discover Islam and learn about Islam, and this really started to happen once I got to university. Actually, I had never really seen men pray salah or women wear hijab until I came to university. And alhamdulillah, I think a large part of it was because of the MSA's activity on campus and just the large amount of diversity on a campus where you have students from Indonesia, South Africa, Egypt, Russia, all coming to one place. So it was a really life-changing experience for me. And around the end of my first year university, it had been a really tough go, and I started to have a lot of internal issues and self-development and self-discovery to go on, and questions I wanted answered and I had a lot of difficulties going on, and I needed to find support. And so at times I turned to family, at times I turned to community, at times I turned to my friends, but I really started to realize that a lot of my Muslim friends were actually people who were reaching out to me, and it wasn't always just me reaching out to them. And at one point I had asked my friend for some advice. There was an issue between me and one of my friends, and I said to him, you know what, you're a Muslim guy, you'll understand the situation, can you give me some advice? And this was one of the first times actually that I had really been given a simple and a generalized an encompassing explanation of who Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was. Got to know his character, getting to know his struggle, and getting to know his sincere dedication to the mission of Islam. And by the time I was halfway done reading the message on my phone, actually tears were running down my eyes, and I didn't even know who this man was, subhanAllah. That was around August of 2014, alhamdulillah, and after that I kind of went on with my life. Didn't take too many large steps into learning about Islam. However, I had some thinking I needed to do. I was reading a book and it was telling me about a society that had low moral values, and they just were lacking skills and modesty and good character, and it really helped me understand the benefits of Islamic modest clothing, and even the hijab in particular. And so I was looking at myself and really thinking, and once I started to realize that, Muslims don't drink alcohol, Muslims dress modestly, Muslims get married and they stay away from zina and inappropriate activities with each other. And so I really said to myself, like, this is the kind of life I actually want. And so alhamdulillah, I had self-approved within myself like Islamic characters and values, but I couldn't make the jump quite yet to believe in the ghaib, the akhirah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so it took a couple more weeks, about a month or so, once I was enrolled in a course at McMaster University called Islam in America, and it was actually a religion studies course. And being interested in myself in peace studies at the time, with little interest in religion, I decided that it would be interesting to learn more about the Middle East and the history of Islam in North America, to get a better understanding of current political events and 9/11 and so on and so forth. And in the first lecture, the professor just gave us a basic rundown of key characters in Islamic history, like Prophet Muhammad ﷺ and his wife Khadija, and the Kaaba and what it was and what it represented. And I was really touched by this class. And I had to actually leave early for a medical appointment, but as soon as I was finished my medical appointment, I rushed back to the library and I grabbed all my Muslim friends that I literally could find. And I had asked them my questions, and I was in doubt, and I didn't know what to believe, I didn't know what to think, and I was confused. This lasted until I went home that day actually, and even until I was in my bed trying to sleep at midnight, and I couldn't find the peace to go to sleep, and I was just awake, rolling and unable to find peace. So subhanAllah, a very personal moment in my life, but in desperation and in wanting to find an answer, I, in some way, shape or form, made dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and I asked, like I said, oh God, or oh Allah, whatever your name is, please allow me to basically either know the truth, or to have a message or a sign in order to give me the certainty about the truth of Islam and the truth about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so, but I immediately thought to myself, nobody sees miracles like in the movies, and so I thought, I have to see something that's a miracle to me, a personal miracle that no one else, even if no one else knows it, because I knew if I asked for too much, I wouldn't get it. And even then, and this makes everybody laugh, but I thought in my head, what if nothing is shown to me and for 60 years, and I grow old and I never know if Islam is true or not? So I said, okay, I give you a week, hoping that at least I would have an answer, and I would finally find the certainty and have the certainty that I needed within myself to find the peace. And alhamdulillah, it was only a mercy and a blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that for the rest of the week and even into this day, Allah has filled me with that certainty and has shown me sign after sign after sign, and allowed me to continue on this journey as a Muslim, and allow me to live with the certainty that I need, alhamdulillah. Some advice I have for helping new Muslims, and even advice for new Muslims themselves, is when someone has just recently accepted Islam, is never to push them to learn Islam too quickly. Maybe it's because of discomfort with learning something new. Maybe it's the pressures at home to avoid Islam, or for whatever reasons it might be. Take your time, set a plan. I think personally the best plan is at least 1 or 2 hours a week, so that an individual, a new Muslim, can have a constant and a repeating access to Islamic knowledge. For me, being a student in university, my MSA, or my Muslim Students Association, played a huge role in bringing me to the Jummah prayers on a weekly basis. And even though there were times of doubt or times of difficulty and times when I was too busy with school to learn about Islam, going to Jummah prayer and just being with my brothers was so welcoming, and it was a really was very important to myself. But at the same time as I was learning about Islam, right, the khutbahs had great beneficial reminders. The khutbahs were positive and inspiring, and they were designed for an audience that was around the same age as myself, so really connected with them. This way I wasn't falling behind in my own school, I wasn't falling short helping my family, and I wasn't getting overburdened with learning about Islam. And so I feel that anyone who can go to Jummah or find a weekly halaqah or a weekly program they can do, it's highly recommended from my experience. So some other advice I have would be to really keep a strong connection to the Quran. Everybody has their own understanding, and everyone has their own history of where they learned Islam from. And sometimes people have incorrect teachings and twisted mentalities and twisted understandings of Islam that can really be threatening to a new Muslim who can't really tell right from wrong, true from false, guided from misguided. And so having the Quran as their core source of knowledge and really turning to that source to, on a daily basis or weekly basis, or maybe just 5 minutes every morning, can really, really, really help protect a new Muslim and make sure that they develop in the right way. Sometimes we focus on fiqh, or sometimes we focus on the types of food we're eating, but what does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala want us to know? And what does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala want us to hear and ponder upon and reflect? And that is what the Quran does, and that is what the Quran is. And because it's a message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to us, we should make sure that we give it the top priority, especially when today we run to our emails, we run to our text messages. But what about the message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? The best way for me to get enough daily Quran reading or weekly Quran reading in my life is I've come up with a small and personalized set where basically, alhamdulillah, I have a protective case, I have a translation of the explanation of the Quran here that helps me start from one surah to the next, great notes, and it's easy to read and easy to understand, so that I don't have to delay my study of Quran because I don't know Arabic. Furthermore, I have dawah in the Fortress of the Muslim. This really helps with just keep remembering Allah in the morning and the evenings, staying protected, and just always using that special power we have of making dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and keeping it there. And then also you have enough space to put any other book in there for da'wah purposes. You never know when you meet someone on the bus or when you want to speak to somebody about Islam, and then you're not giving up your crucial and personal materials that you use for yourself. The case is great for anyone who goes to work, anyone who goes to school, anyone with a busy life and who wants to keep the Quran close to themselves so that their life can be close to the Quran. And inshallah we'll all be with the righteous believers and with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the akhirah.
سعد إلى منتهى